Hey there, everybody. My name is Mr. Fluent. I am the guy who posts a video to YouTube every night of roughly 5 minutes in length, or at least that's the goal that I'm working on, is stopping at 5 minutes or within a few seconds thereafter. And when I do these videos, I try to speak as fluently as I can without saying or using any other types of filler words. I have noticed a trend where I do well with the avoidance of filler words for the first minute and a half or so of these videos, and then the uhs and ums start to creep in. I said that same thing at the beginning of my last video, that it was a trend I was noticing, and sure enough, last night that trend continued. And so I'm just going to keep pointing this out at the beginning of each video so that I can be working on it in the later minutes of the recording. And so eventually, my hope is that I'll be able to go the whole way, the whole 5-6 minutes, without using any filler words. So today I have, there's my first failure. Today is a Sunday, and I've got my mom in town. She is visiting us, not just to see us, but also her granddaughter. And because it was a Sunday, and we had my mom here to watch my daughter, I was actually able to go this morning to the 10 a.m. Mass at our church with my wife. Ever since our kid was born in 2023, we've tended to go to separate Mass services. My wife tends to go Sunday mornings, and then I go Sunday evenings. We could go together and bring our daughter with us. That's obviously, I think, what most families do with young children, and I think it's a beautiful thing to do, and I think a lot of people in church love nothing better than to see a family with one or more young kids, because it's a beautiful vision. And I have to balance that knowledge that that's a nice thing for a lot of people to see against the knowledge that when we bring our daughter, I basically am not aware of anything that goes on the altar. I'm not the best multitasker in terms of putting my attention in multiple places. And so when we've got our toddler wriggling and being kooky in the aisle, in the pew with us, then that is where all of my attention goes, and I pretty much miss the Mass, and that's no fun. So that's why we typically split up. But as I said, today we didn't have to do that. And I'm Catholic, always have been. I was born a Catholic. My wife, on the other hand, was born and raised a Presbyterian, and she actually is in the closing stages right now of her OCIA course, which will, at the end, make her a Catholic like me. I'm forgetting off the top of my head what OCIA stands for, but that is, whatever those 4 letters stand for, that is the process whereby non-Catholics become Catholics. So she's been at this for the better part of 8 months, and when we reach the Easter Vigil in April, she will receive her first communion and her confirmation, and she'll be a Catholic. So that's all great. So I was there today, and at one point there were 2 people in her OCIA class who are doing everything that all the rest of the members of this class are doing, but they're also being baptized. So these are 2 people who were never baptized in any Christian church, whereas all the other members of this OCIA class were baptized as Christians, just not as Catholics. And in that event, the Catholic Church does recognize the validity of baptisms that are done in other Christian denominations. So the 2 members of the class who were not previously baptized in any church went up to the front, to the altar, and received a special blessing from our priest with their 2 sponsors standing behind them. And once that was done, all the OCIA members were called up with any sponsors that happened to be present for a smaller blessing before the OCIA class left the church to go back to the room where they do their OCIA work. So it's not something that, as a sponsor of my wife, that I needed to be there for today, but since I was there, I was able to go up with her, and that was a really special moment that I enjoyed. And I could go on. I had some other things I was going to say about Mass, but I'm at 5 minutes now, so I think I'm actually going to call the video here. So that is it for me. I will be back tomorrow night, and I hope you, whenever you watch this, are having a good time with whatever you're up to, and that blessings follow you in the days ahead. Thank you.